Now look, we've all been there. You meet someone, the sparks are flying, you're thinking this could be the one, but then you start digging a little deeper and bam, you discover they're passionate about something you just don't get. Maybe they're all about collecting stamps and you'd rather be skydiving. Or they live for opera and you're a die-hard heavy metal fan. Now, some folks might see these differences as deal breakers, as waving that big red flag. But hold on a minute. Let's get real here. Having different interests doesn't doom a relationship. In fact, it can be a real strength. Think about it. You don't want a carbon copy of yourself, right? That would be boring and predictable. Different interests bring new experiences, new perspectives, new conversations to the table. It keeps things interesting. Plus, it gives you both the space to pursue your own passions, your own things, which is healthy for any relationship. Now, I'm not saying you have to love everything your partner loves. That's unrealistic. But you gotta respect their interests, just like you'd want them to respect yours. And who knows? Maybe you'll even learn something new from each other along the way. Trying out each other's hobbies can be a fun adventure. The key here is communication. Talk about your interests, share your passions, and be open to hearing about theirs. It's all about finding that balance. You might be surprised at what you discover. Sometimes, stepping out of your comfort zone can lead to amazing experiences. Remember, a little bit of difference can go a long way in keeping the spark alive. It adds a layer of excitement and unpredictability. So, embrace those differences, celebrate them, and watch your relationship grow stronger because of them. It's these unique qualities that make your bond special and enduring. Let me tell you something. Communication is the cornerstone of any relationship. It's the glue that holds people together, allowing them to share their thoughts, feelings, and experiences. But here's the kicker. We don't all communicate the same way, and that's okay. In fact, it's more than okay. It's what makes our interactions rich and diverse. We're all individuals, shaped by our own experiences, our own upbringings. These unique backgrounds influence how we express ourselves and interpret others. Some folks are naturally more expressive, wearing their hearts on their sleeves, sharing openly and frequently, while others are more reserved, keeping their feelings closer to the chest, preferring to process internally before speaking. Now, problems arise when we start interpreting these differences in communication styles as red flags. Misunderstandings can easily occur. Maybe your partner isn't a big talker, and you start thinking they're distant or uninterested. You might feel neglected or unimportant. Or maybe they're super direct, and you perceive it as being harsh or critical. Their straightforwardness might come off as insensitivity. But hold on a second. Let's not jump to conclusions too quickly. Before you jump to conclusions, take a step back and consider this. Their communication style might simply be different from yours. It's not necessarily a sign of trouble. It doesn't necessarily mean they don't care or that there's something wrong. It might just be their way of expressing themselves. The key here is to recognize and respect these differences. Embrace them as part of what makes your relationship unique. If you're with someone who's more reserved, don't expect them to suddenly become a chatterbox overnight. Give them space and time to open up. And if you're with someone who's more direct, understand that they're probably not trying to be hurtful. It's just their way of communicating. They value honesty and clarity. Instead of seeing these differences as obstacles, view them as opportunities for growth. They can teach you new ways to connect and understand each other. Talk about your communication styles openly and honestly. Have conversations about how you both prefer to communicate. Explain how you like to give and receive information, and encourage your partner to do the same. This mutual understanding can strengthen your bond. Remember, effective communication is about understanding, not just talking. It's about listening and empathizing with each other's perspectives. So, be patient, be understanding, and be willing to meet your partner halfway. Together, you can build a stronger, more connected relationship. Let's be honest, folks. Everyone has a past. We all come with baggage, with experiences that have shaped who we are today. Now, some folks might see a past relationship, a previous marriage, or even just a string of exes as a big, waving red flag. They might think, what's wrong with this person? Why haven't they settled down? But let me tell you something. Having a past doesn't automatically disqualify someone from having a healthy, fulfilling relationship in the present. In fact, those past experiences, even the tough ones, can be valuable learning opportunities. Think about it. Every relationship, whether it ended well or not, teaches us something about ourselves, about what we want and need in a partner. It helps us grow, evolve, and become better versions of ourselves. Now, I'm not saying you should ignore red flags or dismiss any concerns you might have. If someone has a pattern of cheating or toxic behavior, that's a different story. But if someone has simply loved and lost before, don't hold it against them. Instead of seeing their past as a liability, approach it with curiosity and understanding. Listen to their stories, learn from their experiences, and allow them the space to share what they're comfortable sharing. Remember, everyone deserves a chance at happiness, regardless of their past. Don't let preconceived notions or societal pressures dictate who you choose to love. Chapter 5. They are not always available. We live in a hyper-connected world, where everyone expects instant responses and constant availability. It's almost as if being reachable at all times has become a societal norm, a standard that everyone is expected to meet. But here's the truth. No one can be on all the time. It's simply not sustainable, nor is it healthy. We all need our space, our time to recharge and pursue our own interests. Whether it's a walk in the park, reading a book, or just sitting quietly with our thoughts, these moments are essential for our well-being. Now, some folks might see a partner who's not glued to their phone 24/7 as a red flag. They might jump to conclusions, thinking something is wrong or that their partner is hiding something. They might think, what are they hiding? Who are they with? These thoughts can spiral out of control, leading to unnecessary stress and conflict. But let me tell you something. Needing space is not a sign of disinterest or a lack of commitment. It's actually quite the opposite. In fact, it's a sign of a healthy individual who understands the importance of self-care and personal boundaries. Think about it. Taking time for oneself is a way to maintain mental and emotional health. Do you really want to be with someone who has no life outside of your relationship? Someone who doesn't have their own interests or passions? Someone who's completely dependent on you for their happiness and fulfillment? That kind of dependency can be suffocating and unhealthy for both parties involved. A strong, independent partner is someone who has their own things going on, their own passions and pursuits. They bring their own experiences and perspectives to the relationship, enriching it. They're not afraid to spend time alone, and they don't need constant validation or attention. They are secure in themselves and their relationship. Now, I'm not saying it's okay for someone to be completely MIA all the time. Communication is key. It's important to strike a balance. But if your partner needs some time to themselves to unwind, pursue a hobby, or simply recharge their batteries, respect that. Understand that this time apart can be beneficial for both of you. Encourage them to pursue their interests, and use that time to focus on your own growth and well-being. This mutual respect and understanding can lead to a more fulfilling relationship. Remember, a little bit of space can actually strengthen your bond and make your time together even more meaningful. It allows you to appreciate each other more and brings a fresh perspective to your relationship. Look, relationships are complicated. There's no one-size-fits-all answer, no magic formula for success. But what I can tell you is this. Judging a relationship based on surface-level observations or preconceived notions is a recipe for disaster. Instead of jumping to conclusions or letting your insecurities run wild, take the time to really get to know someone. Communicate openly and honestly, listen with an open mind, and be willing to see things from their perspective. Remember, relationships are about growth, both individually and together. Embrace the differences, learn from the challenges, and never stop working towards a stronger, healthier, and more fulfilling partnership.